What is up, YouTube? MOTOBLADE here. Today I'm going to go over an interesting topic with you guys. The top 5 ways that people kill themselves on motorcycles. Stick around. So these are my top 5 ways that you can get killed by riding a motorcycle. Number 1 should not be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. It could be completely wiped out if people were willing to be smart, and that is drinking. Drinking and riding your motorcycle is the most dumbass thing you could do. And unfortunately, it's popularized and even promoted in a backhanded sort of way in the motorcycling community. You know, we go to these bike nights, and I'm not against bike night. I love going to bike night. But when you go to bike night and the drinks are heavily discounted, I've seen guys so many times at bike night go in, get a beer or two, and then get right back on their bike and keep riding. No. You shouldn't even have one beer in your system. You shouldn't have any alcohol in your system when you are riding your bike. CDC, I think it was CDC, or may have been National Safety Transportation Board, a couple years ago, put out a statistic that over 35% of guys who died in motorcycle crashes had alcohol in their blood. Okay, they were intoxicated. We're not just talking minimum, they were intoxicated, and they should not have been allowed to ride at all. But any alcohol amount in your blood and then hopping on your bike to ride, that's moronic. You should not be doing that, and that's not even up for discussion in my opinion. So drinking and riding. And again, going back to bike night, I hate to rag on bike nights because I do love going to bike night. But when I'm at bike night, I will not drink. I don't drink at all. And these guys just drink alcohol and get on their bike and ride. I don't think I could even stand upright and keep my bike upright at a stoplight if I had been drinking. Like, I don't understand these guys who want to risk their really nice fancy bike, let alone their lives. But if you're willing to risk your life and do that, let's just take that out of the equation for a minute. The odds of you just even dropping your bike are going to be higher, and you're going to ding up your nice bike, and it's just stupid. So drinking and riding, number 1 way that people can kill themselves riding. Number 2, lack of training. People get into motorcycling when they're young, oftentimes. I see a lot of kids around here on dirt bikes, and they just start off learning from an older sibling, or they just decide to go out and buy a sport bike or a small cruiser and teach themselves to ride. And there's nothing wrong with teaching yourself things, that's great. But there are a lot of good things that a motorcycle safety course can teach you, and those things can come in real handy on the road. Several of them have saved my skin several times. Teaching you how to dodge obstacles, how to go over obstacles. There's a lot of things that a motorcycle safety course can teach you guys that if you don't get proper training, you can kill yourself riding. Now, it doesn't have to be the motorcycle safety course that I took at Harley. They teach a lot of basic rider courses at community colleges. You can even get them for free. In some states, the DMV will actually provide them for you. They do them like once or twice a month. So if you guys have the option, get some training, because lack of training is the number 2 way that we have on our list for the ways that you can die on a motorcycle. Number 3, too much bike for too little rider. And when I say little rider, I'm not talking about size, because I've seen tiny, tiny girls driving big Harleys. That's not the issue. I'm talking too much bike for too much of an inexperienced rider. That would be a better way to put it. I see these guys, they'll go out, they'll take the MSF course, and then they will just go to Harley and get on the biggest freaking cruiser that they can. Or worse, they'll go to stinking Suzuki and get a Hayabusa. I'm not ragging on those bikes, they're fantastic. But out of the gate for your first bike, that's what you want to try to control? And then they'll get out on the road and think that they're, street Rozzy, dragging knee in the turns on this Hayabusa. and they've literally just come off of a Street 500 at the Harley course, and that's all they know? No. That is how you kill yourself riding a bike. Okay, too much bike for someone who is not experienced in larger bikes and doesn't know how to handle it. This can even go for someone who didn't just come straight from the MSF course, you know? If you've been riding a tiny bike for a very long time and that's all you knew, if all you knew was a Honda Grom, you should try to work your way up. You don't necessarily have to buy the bike. See if you can find a buddy or someone who has a larger bike, more CCs, more power for you to get comfortable with and practice with before you make the jump to a big bike. Guys buy these big bikes and dump them going through turns because they think that they can ride them. But I have seen it, especially guys who like to buy a big bike and they think they know what they're doing, and then they go up to tail the dragon literally that first weekend, and I've seen a guy do that and dump his bike there. Don't be that guy. Buy a bike that you feel comfortable riding and that's not out of your ability to control. Number 4, other people. Now we're going to break that into 2 categories. First category is other people on the roadway that are not with you. So everyone is a dumbass, everyone is out to kill you. That is the mentality you have to have 100% of the time when you are riding a motorcycle. I talked about that in my 7 defensive riding strategies to keep you safe on the road video. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch it. It's great. I'll link it in the card on the screen and down in the description. But other people are dumbasses. Everyone is. They're going to claim they didn't see you. You were too small. You weren't loud enough. Yada, yada, yada. Everyone is not paying attention for motorcycles. So everyone's a dumbass. Everyone's out to kill you. That is your mentality when you're riding. You have to be 100% aware 100% of the time. The second category of other people is peer pressure. I've seen a lot of guys go out with their buddies riding. Usually this is on sport bikes because you can't, I'm not saying you can't get into trouble on a cruiser, but it's a little bit more difficult. A little bit. But guys get out on these sport bikes and their buddies are doing wheelies and they think that they can too, and they just try to do these stunts or try to go really fast without the experience because their buddies are pressuring them to do it, and they see them do it and they figure they can. And they've never done the proper training to know how to do any of those things safely, and there they go. So really, it could be a lack of training, but if you surround yourself with guys who don't respect the fact that maybe you don't have their level of training, and they keep pushing you to do something that's outside of your comfort zone on a motorcycle, you can end up dead real fast. So peer pressure and other people, that's the 4th way that you can die on a motorcycle. Number 5, the single worst way that you could possibly die on a motorcycle. Harley was running a special. You all went out and you bought a brand new bike. And you didn't tell your wife or your girlfriend or fiance, whatever. And you get murdered because she kills you because you bought a bike. And you didn't tell her about it, you didn't talk to her about it. That is the 5th and most horrid way to die involving a motorcycle. Your wife kills you because you bought a new bike. Thankfully, I haven't experienced that, and I've gone through 3 bikes so far in a span of 2 years. So I might be pushing my limits. Maybe it's like a cat. Maybe you get 9 bikes, 9 lives before you die. But that is the 5th and arguably the worst way to die on a motorcycle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little list. I had fun putting it together, doing a little bit of research and having a little fun there at the end. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. It's a big red button down there. It says subscribe. It's hard to miss. Click the bell icon next to it. That'll give you guys notifications when there's new videos to watch right here on MOTOBLADE. If you haven't yet been over to my store on Teespring, go check it out. I got MOTOBLADE merchandise out. I've got t-shirts, leggings, mugs, stickers, all kinds of cool crap. If you guys want to show off some MOTOBLADE merch and how much you enjoy my channel, head on over there. All proceeds go right back into the channel to making more awesome videos. And I have some very special cool stuff planned for you guys coming up. So stick around, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, leave a comment down below. If there's something that I didn't cover that you guys think I missed or that should have been talked about, let me know down below. I'm also going to be doing a subscriber Q&A video coming up. I have a whole video dedicated to that where you guys can go and learn about the questions that I want to hear from you guys. But if you guys have any questions for me that you want answered in that video, let me know down below and put next to it for the Q&A video, and I'm going to try to answer as many subscriber questions as I can in that upcoming video. So until next time, you guys know what to do. Be careful out there. Ride safe. Ride on. I'll catch all of you later. Deuces.